Okay, so last time that I worked on this project, I was pretty stuck. Oh, 8,000. Of course there's a fire engine right when I start streaming. So last time I worked on this project, I got pretty stuck with the whole serverless authentication thing because for some reason my server, even though everything is configured correctly, is no longer authenticating with Twitter. So we're gonna try if that's still the case, and then I think the best... Hey Fuzzy Buddy! Well, how are you doing today? So the best thing I think to try is going to be to just set up a completely new environment with serverless YAML and stuff, and maybe that's gonna work. We'll see. So let's see first if logging in on the front end still works. So I log in here, get sign in with Auth0, click login on with Twitter, it redirects me back, and okay, that part worked. I'm still not sure why it does this thing here, but you know, it worked. So let me zoom that in a little bit potentially and make sure that you can actually see everything. Okay, so you can't really see. Let me make myself a little. I like having a big face. Alright, so let's see if the server is authenticated now. Is my serverless lambda authing to Twitter now? Okay, tweet your thread and bam, failed to fetch. Okay, so that is still not working. I'm gonna log into the AWS console and see if it's still the same error as it was before. Swizzets and Swizzets, that's gonna be the wrong password. Come on, just so password managers fighting each other, never a good idea, never looks good. So if I go to, no, not Lambda, I go to my CloudWatch here. Okay, and if I go to logs, we should now here have a private endpoint log from a minute ago. That's correct, and it says error message object huge error, could not authenticate me. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the server, the handler, so that's this part here. This is the code that runs on my AWS Lambda and does stuff. And let's see, type of string, so that should be correct. I'm going to, I guess I can keep these. Okay, so we said the first thing I'm gonna try is to just set it up on a new environment and see if that makes it work. So I think the way you do that is here somewhere. There should be a stage, plugin serverless offline, runtime functions, public endpoint, private endpoint, custom authorizer docs, this response. How do I change the stage? Okay, serverless YAML stage, serverless variables. I'm gonna log in, zoom in a little bit. How do I set the stage? Stage provider, okay, stage Swizzets test, and now when I deploy now, it should go to Swizzets test instead of to dev. And I'm not sure how to make that actually work, but oh, okay. So yeah, let's try that. So I go to cd backend and I run serverless deploy, and that's going to upload. Basically, it's going to create a new deployment because I changed the stage name. At least that's my understanding, and we'll see if that makes it work. And if it does, then great, we can move on. If it doesn't, I don't really know what else I can try. So it's creating everything from scratch now. The other option I can think of is that maybe there's something in Auth0 that I have to pay for. Because these things do, like I was using a test account for playing around purposes, and it sent me an email about something about paying a while ago, but you know, I haven't actually checked what they're doing. So I am on US free payment subscription 0 per month, developer 7,000 regular, a user that has authenticated with username password, passwordless connections or any social provider counted per calendar month and per tenant. Okay, so that should work. If we go to thread compiler backend, is it saying anything about, it doesn't seem like it's saying I have to pay for anything or anything like that. APIs, that seems to work. Okay, so it should all be working. Now it made a new deployment. So you see here where it said that where before my URLs were /dev, they are now /swizzetstest. So we have to go into, where are we? So tweet button goes through use Twitter thread, which has here utils auth. Here we define the endpoints for public and private, and we're going to look at, we're going to change this dev here to say swizzets-test, and this dev is also going to say swizzets-test, and we save that as a JavaScript, as JavaScript React. And I'm gonna check, maybe developer Twitter also needs, I might have to set like callback URLs or something. Let's see. So login callback, no, don't need to change that. Permissions, read and write. What are email address? Do I need that? No, I don't need your email address, although it would be cool to have. Okay, so this should have redeployed. Here I can now refresh, reload the page. I'm still logged in. Chain redeployed to a new lambda. Does Auth0 magically work now? Tweet your thread, and it failed to fetch again, but now it's giving me a 403 error. That's new. So what is a 403 error? Oh, I know what the 403 error is, because I'm not authenticated. So I'm gonna log out, refresh, log in again, and let's see if that works better. Test, tweet your thread, failed to fetch, 403. Why is it giving me a 403 error? Let's see, network, headers 403, authorization content type something. So now if I go to CloudWatch, let's see, logs. Aha, we now have these guys here, but they don't have any logs, which means my URL was wrong. Yep. So you see it actually changed the beginning part of the URL as well. So all of this needs to change now. So this is public and private. Cool. Now let's try that again. Okay. So I got all of that. We reload this and I write test, tweet your thread, and bam, failed to fetch again. Now it got a 502 response. So I can go back here and look at Swizzets test private endpoint. So 2230, that's us. And it says that it could not authenticate me. This is really weird. What else can I try? Because this means, let's see, so it's erroring out at the huge error, but it's console logging the user secret, so it means it's getting here. It's getting to the tweet part, which means it was able to talk to Auth0, it was able to get all of the access tokens and all of that stuff back, and then it wasn't able to actually authenticate with Twitter. Even though I know for a fact that just use C++, yes, maybe I should just use C++. But I remember last time we tried and we confirmed that we are using the correct tokens, we're using the correct token secrets, and it's all working. And I know somebody who was watching my stream last time also tried this and got it working with exactly the same code, which means it must be something to do with my account. What can I do? Let's try this. So I'm gonna go here where I see my users, and I'm going to try deleting myself. I did get the OAuth token. Oh. What do you mean use sandbox? Winter pineapples. So I'm going to delete this guy, delete this user, and I'm going to delete this other user as well, and see if that helps. So go here, log myself out, reload, now log in, gives me login with Twitter, goes back to the things, yes, I approve. Cool, so I'm now here, and we can see that I should have a new user here called Swizzets, yeah, and I should have, so I have thread compiler, and let's see, app metadata, I have identity provider stuff, and this should give me the tokens and stuff as well. So if I try to do this now again, tweet your thread, gives me a 502 error, because let's see if my user details changed at all. So winter pineapples, I'm not sure what you mean by use API use sandbox, but the way this works is that it talks to Auth0 to get my tokens for Twitter, and when it gets those tokens, it then uses them to talk to the Twitter API, and that used to work until it suddenly stopped working, and I'm not sure why it's not working. Because look, I'll show you. So if I console log my identity.access token and identity.access token secret, so I'm gonna console log those on the server. I'm going to redeploy so that we can see it on the server, and then I'm gonna copy it locally just to prove that the tokens themselves work. handler.js, it's going to use the tweet stuff. So where is it? Here we go. So require Twitter API. So we have all of this. No, it's not local. Or what? Not sure what you're asking, whether it's local. So we have this test.js, and we're gonna take secrets.json from here and do this part. So I'm now copy pasting stuff into a test file so that I can show to Winter Pineapples that the code itself does work and the access tokens are in fact correct. So we have async function tweet. I'm gonna copy here, and instead of, actually I'm gonna make sure that it's actually the same. Then we're gonna call tweet with message. So tweet with test, and the identity being, we're gonna copy those tokens from logs on Lambda. So we have access token and access token secret, like that. So I redeployed, I click tweet your thread, it's going to fail again. Yep, it failed again, and I can now go to logs on the Lambda. So we have Suzet's test private endpoint 2237, reload so that we get the latest logs, and let's see, type of string. Cool. So these are all of my secret codes that I am showing to everyone, but that's okay. Let's see, so we have the access token, and then we have the access token secret, and I don't know which is which. Oh, that's the, okay, so this is the access token, and this is the access token secret. So now if my API tokens are wrong, this running this test function that is just copy pasted from my server code shouldn't work, right? But you'll see that it is actually going to work. So I run node test.js, and it does complain. Let's see what it's complaining about. Let's console log the response or the error and console log the data. No test, bad authentication data. Okay, so it doesn't actually work. Why did that work before? Cool. So now the question is, why is it getting the wrong auth data? So if we look at applications, thread compiler backend, Interesting. So why are my access tokens wrong? Let's see. Can I look at the apps that I have authenticated? Maybe there's a clue there. Twitter ads, analytics, settings, and privacy. Okay, so Winter Pineapples was on the right track, but I'm not sure what actually changed. Beautiful Twitter threads, blah. Okay, so handler.js. I wonder, what if we change this to... Okay, I'm gonna actually start running handler.js, and I'm going to just reuse all of the code here, but call it with, let's see, we can fake a call to this. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to say const handler equals require /handler, and it's going to call handler.private endpoint endpoint with an event that has a body, and our body is a JSON, so we have body as a JSON, and then we pass something for the context, and our callback gets what? It gets error and response. So error and response, and we're going to console log the response just to see what's going on. And now in our body, so the body needs to look like this. Our body is going to have a user ID. So user ID of, what is my user ID again? Let's see, so application users, visit stellar, we can look at, no, not authorized, details, and here somewhere will be my user ID. There we go. My user ID, like this. So handler.js gets user ID and then passes it directly to getting the user token. Okay, so test.js user ID, and message is going to just say test because we're just testing. And now if I run Node.js, it's going to run the actual same code that if I run test.js with Node, it's going to run the actual same code that we're running on the server, and it's going to be a little easier to debug. Console log response. Right, okay, now it's gonna actually work, right? There we go. So node test.js, Twitter key, thread compiler auth0, and it gets an error called access denied. Awesome. Message, Twitter secret, Twitter blah. Cool. So now we can start slowly debugging what's going on. Let's see. Console log auth0 token is, actually let's do it this way. Auth0 token, and then we get console log user token, and we get console log of identity. Let's see what that says. So node test.js, where is the, so I added a bunch of console logs. It doesn't seem like they're actually getting done. Console log user ID and message. Let's see. I definitely saved that. Node test. Aha, user ID gets the thing. And oh, it looks like we already don't get the auth0 token. Do we? Console log trying to get token to get auth0 token. And aha. Okay, so the error actually happens somewhere other than where I thought it happens. already fails here, where it's trying to do get auth0 token. Okay, so I'm going to risk opening secrets.js and showing you all of my keys and stuff, but it should be fine. Because it looks like almost nobody's watching anyway, so should be okay. So we have thread compiler, copy to clipboard, auth0 management client ID, and copy to clipboard, auth management secret. Yeah, that's the auth0 management, a list of your APIs. You can authorize this application to request access tokens for these APIs by executing a client credentials exchange. What is a client credentials exchange? So authenticate with client ID plus client secret to token, validate access token, request data with access token, blah. Hey Candy Cane, what are you up to? Why is this authentication stuff always so hard? And why can't I yeah. So thread compiler, machine to machine. We have that. So management client ID, management client secret. Machine to machine. So after the user authenticates, we will only call back to any of these URLs. Okay, so is that the right one? Wow, it sounds like it's very late in the East Coast. Thank you for stopping by. How do I know? Okay, backend, let's see. Laravel, ASP, Django, Go, Ruby, Symfony, Node.js. Why is it an Express app? What? This is for. Hey Adil, I don't think I can actually message back to Facebook, can I? Oh, maybe I can these days. Cool. So I'm still not sure why this is giving me trouble. Let's see if this stuff is correct. Console log management client ID blah, and console log management client secret. So the problem I'm having is that if you were here a couple of streams ago, this was probably now like 2 weeks ago already, this was definitely working, and now suddenly it's not working anymore, and I have no idea why. Oh, well, that could do it. Why are these things undefined? auth0 management client ID, auth0 management client ID, auth0 management client ID. Then we go back down here. Where was it? auth management client secret, auth management client secret, 0 management client secret. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going over everything and making sure that I'm pasting over things and having it match. So this is definitely a problem. Why? Oh, because now it's getting it from process env, not from secrets. Oh, because I am in serverless, I'm defining this differently. Okay. So what if we say or secrets dot auth0 client ID or secrets dot auth0 client public key or secrets dot auth0 management client ID or secrets dot auth0 management client secret or secrets dot Twitter consumer key or secrets dot Twitter consumer secret. Cool. And now when I run node test, aha, object didn't pass validation for format user ID. So that's a big improvement. So now, why did this not work? Cool. So this is progress. It might not look like progress, but it's definitely progress. We now got as far as the Twitter part. So if I can go remove some console logs, namely the ones that are leaking my secrets to the logs. Cool. And we can remove this. We can remove this and say console log about to tweet. And we remove this guy, remove this guy, remove this guy. Aha. Incoming error, blah. Got auth token. Error bad request on when we try the user format, which API returned this. It didn't get as far as. Okay, let's try user ID the different way. So if I go to test, let's see what tweet button actually sends. So tweet button is going to, if I go to my application local storage and I click this guy, you can see that my user ID is actually Twitter blah. Okay, so let's see, test.js, and I do that part, and now when I run node test, will it work? It worked. Okay, so we got that working. There was, after all, something wrong with my config, so I can now go here and say git add test, because I want to make sure that we add it, and say git, let's do a serverless deploy so that it goes back to serverless, and then I'm going to try it in the UI and make sure that it works. So I think candy cane was wrong. The problem wasn't that technology changes rapidly. I think the problem was that I'm an idiot. But, you know, we're about to verify that theory. It's also slower than it used to be for deploys. Okay, reload. After much chagrin, the problem was incorrect auth token configuration after all. Let's see if that actually posts. God damn it. But we can see that at least the previous one that says test, see, that one posted. Okay. Log groups, and we go to private endpoint 2255, and it says about to tweet, and then gets could not authenticate you. Okay, so what could the problem be? Let's remove this stuff because we're not using it. So handler.js, when we added this this stuff, it started working locally. But if we open, serverless YAML, it says Twitter consumer key and Twitter consumer secret come from the secrets JSON file. I wonder if the secrets JSON file isn't getting committed. Let's see, get status. How can I check what goes in my... Aha, so we have this. No, CloudFormation, serverless state, ls.serverless. So I think the zip file is what actually service us AWS custom authorizer. Okay, so let's verify that secrets.json is actually going into the service. Random coding, and if I go to how do I actually open that? Okay, serverless, where are you? Command Shift G, and we're gonna go to documents, random coding slash what is it, thread compiler.com slash backend slash dot serverless, and I'm gonna unpack it, and we're gonna see exactly what goes onto the serverless thing. So secrets JSON does go in there. Let's try something else. So I'm gonna go back into my handler.js, and here where we are, okay, so we do have those and they are correctly configured, so that part works, I think. What if we stop trying to take stuff from process env and just take it from secrets.json, and that might work better? And the only reason I think it might work better is because it worked on localhost. So let's see. Backend blah serverless deploy. We're doing another deploy, and we're gonna see if that makes it work. If that doesn't make it work, that means I'm still pretty stuck. And unfortunately, if I remain stuck with this, it's going to be very hard to finish this damn project. And I really want to start using this project. So that's deploying. Yeah, and I'm sorry that this is not a very interesting stream. It's just been very frustrating for me as well. But I hope the background music has been enjoyable. Okay, so I'm taking this, I'm loading the page just to make sure that everything is fresh. We go here, blah, tweet your thread, and tweeting failed. Okay, but that is a new interesting response. So Swizzets test private endpoint 2255. No, not that one. It's going to be the auth 23. What failed here? Unauthorized. Nothing like watching debugging when you're trying to fall asleep. Thanks, I guess. Okay, let's try re-authenticating. That might help, because I think that was the problem. So if I log in, we do the things. I'm now logged in as me. I can go here, paste, tweet your thread, and why do I now get 401 errors on this thing directly? So what? No, I didn't want to press that. So network private endpoint returns 401. We send blah, and we just get message unauthorized. Handler, is that something that we, yeah. Event dot authorization token. Well, that's just weird. So it looks like I'm now locked out by my own authentication, which can only mean one thing. There is something, in fact, wrong with using process env. Is that actually still trying to authenticate me here? No. So Swizzets test auth is now just unauthorized for no reason. Oh, because public key doesn't come from secrets. The public key does in fact come from, let's see, serverless. Hey David, Auth0 client public key must come from process env. Let's try that again. So handler JSON, what handler? Yeah, public key handler blah. So this one must be process.env, and let's try redeploying that. And yeah. So David, have you ever seen the issue that loading secrets into serverless YAML seems to kind of corrupt them? Oh, that's useful. So I can look at logs directly in my console. Wow, I'm gonna try that. So for anyone who's wondering who David is, if I remember correctly, he used to actually work for serverless, so he knows this stuff really well. And you know, he can run circles around me when it comes to serverless, because I basically have no idea what I'm doing, is what I'm trying to say. So let's see, tweet my thread. Aha, and it gives me the same fucking error again. So SLS logs. How am I loading secrets? I am right now just loading them. I tried 2 different ways actually. Let me check here again because I'm more comfortable this way. Right, about to tweet, huge error. unauthorized, could not authenticate you. So David, the way I'm loading secrets is that in my serverless YAML I have this stuff that from what I understand is supposed to load my secrets JSON file and take out the constants and put them in process env. So those are my secrets. Now here I was using process env, and actually let me change it back so I can show you. So I'm trying to take them from process env, and this whole thing, the same function when I ran it locally with test.js, so this stuff actually worked and was able to tweet something out. But then when I run it on the Lambda, it errors out with this could not authenticate you error, and I have no idea why. So let me try changing this back. So this is what I had before. And you'll see if I do it here, works from local node, not from Lambda. Grr, anger, there we go, that guy. So let's see, if I run node test.js, same code, node test.js, and see it tweets out, I can show you that it did in fact tweet it out. If I go to my profile, same code, works from blah, but not from my thing. But then on the Lambda, I get the authentication error. So could not authenticate you. That's the error I get. And I don't know why. Okay, Lambda UI console. How do I do that? So sign me in. Lambda. How do I check that? So if we go to Swizzets test private endpoint, services Lambda search for function. So I think that's this one, right? It's my function. Ah, there we go. So it does seem to have correct values, right? W6 something, 14Z something, yeah. So the values are there and they are correct. So, you know, it seems like it should work, but it's not actually working. And I am kind of lost with what I can do here. Let's see, what else can I try? Twitter, tweet, blah, about to tweet. The public key might be getting malformed. No, we actually get past the public key part. So we use the public key here in the auth part. So I know that we get through that because we get all the way to here. So I know the public key isn't malformed because I'm able to use it successfully. I don't know, actually, it might be a multi-line value, but I do know it works. Just because it's able to authenticate me with Auth0 itself, and then where it fails is trying to authenticate itself with Twitter. And I don't know why. This is gonna be something stupid like this is in like test mode or something, and it only allows posting from localhost or something stupid like that. So that's my callback, terms of service. Doesn't seem to have anything like that. What else can I try? Tweet response, ID provider, Twitter, identity. What the error in console is just where is it? So let me find that again. So CloudWatch, logs, test private endpoint here. So the error is that Twitter returns a 401 instead of working. It says could not authenticate you in this function here, and this function only does it basically just calls the Twitter API with access token and access token secret, and it's not working, and I'm not sure why. And it's even more confusing why it's not working, because it does work locally with the same code. What's the other thing we can check? No, maybe my user ID here. Let's see, console log user ID, just to make sure that I'm passing the same ID as I am in when I run it in Node. Serverless deploy. Okay, that's deploying. This is so frustrating, actually. I'm like, permissions are the bane of my existence. Which values would you say look malformed to you, David? And yeah, I do see coarse errors, but that's why I'm looking at the error itself on in the logs, not here where I'm getting the response. Okay, so we have that, and I'm gonna click tweet your thread again. Makes the same request, and now here in my CloudWatch we can go to private endpoint, that timestamp matches, reload. Why does that not reload, but if I refresh the entire page it does show me stuff? So about to tweet, yeah, so my Twitter, the ID I'm using is the same as the ID I'm sending here, Twitter 15353121, and then the message, and it works from Node. Like, it works when I run it locally, it doesn't work on the Lambda. It throws a 401 error. I have no idea why, and I don't... Alright, let's try that. SLS logs blah. That doesn't seem to have anything. I think that's not what my function is actually called. Let's see. This is what I think this is what it's called. Yeah, I don't think the SLS private endpoint thing worked. Yeah, it just stops. Is it supposed to be doing something while I'm not clicking tweet? I'm gonna wait for David to reply. Okay, it pulls. Okay, let's see what happens. If I click tweet your thread, yeah, this isn't actually printing anything out. Like, why does it just stop? Shouldn't -t keep following it? Okay, now it actually printed stuff out. So yeah, that's what it says. Okay, minus start time 5M. Oh, so that's what it was able to do. Basically, it gets the from Twitter, it gets the 401 error with a message could not authenticate you, and everything else seems to work. So it gets the user token. What is this? Where is this part? So handler.js user token response. Yeah, so it gets my user tokens from auth0, then finds my identity. I guess one more thing we can tweet out here is console log found identity, and we print out identity. And I'm going to serverless deploy and just make sure that the identity it's finding is actually, you know, something useful, because it still could be that, I guess. Okay, so that's redeploying, and then I'm gonna try again, and if that doesn't work, I am going to stop live coding for today, and we're gonna continue tomorrow, banging my head against the wall until the wall breaks. Because that's how walls work, right? You just keep smashing your face into it until the wall gives up. I don't know any other way to do this thing. Okay, so we got that. And now I can go here and click tweet your thread. And it's going to fail again. And I can go here and say, let's go start time -2 minutes. Again, why is this like so not working? Okay, so the identity it found seems to be correct. It has an access token, it has an access token secret. What will pipe up code changes? Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna try that next. But yeah, it seems to find my identity. It finds my, it finds the access token. It finds the token secret. And then it doesn't work. Okay, but so thanks, David, for all your help with using serverless. I am going to, it's the end of my time box for live coding for tonight, and I'm gonna continue tomorrow trying to figure this out. I think the next thing I'm gonna try is to just regenerate my tokens, my secrets and stuff, and see if that helps. I don't know if it will. What is error message object? That is, where does that come from? I don't actually know where that is. It says huge error. Yeah, I don't know what logs that out. Git grep error message. No idea. I think it might be yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the last log line comes from, and that's kind of weird. It's probably something to do with this callback that I'm calling, because this callback is the only thing that happens after this thing says huge error. So I'm assuming something about whatever callback is passed to my private endpoint is printing that out. Yeah, so I think we made a little progress, not much progress. It's definitely Bezos messing with my tokens, you're right. Git commit -a -m. Banging head against token wall some more. So David, you say I'm super close, and you know what the most frustrating thing is? It was working 2 weeks ago, and then without me changing anything that I'm aware of, it stopped working. And that just sucks. But yeah, thanks for your help, everyone. I hope it's been entertaining, and whoever was using this stream to fall asleep, I hope it helped. So see you all again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.